Hello and welcome to 365 Days of Healing. Today I wanted to talk to you about a thing called Ubuntu, which I came across recently, and it really impacted heavily on me. And maybe this is one of the great ways we can move forward to changing our world. When we are children, and when we have children, we very often are quite negative about some of the things we are teaching them and some of the things we say to them when we are frustrated or when we perceive that they've done something wrong. And we fill them with a sense of guilt and shame and or fear because of our behavior towards them. So possibly, and I believe there is a different way of approaching that right from the beginning. And this system called Ubuntu comes from parts of South Africa. Some of the tribes there undertake to do this with the people in their villages. So if somebody makes a mistake or does something that is perceived to be against the normal order for that village, they don't punish that person. They actually bring that person into the middle of the village, and the village surrounds them and tells them about all the good things that they are and all the good things that they have done. And what a wonderful, beautiful soul that person is. Instead of focusing on what mistakes or the things that they did that were perceived as wrong. And that uplifts that person. They then point out that when you do something that is perceived as being against the village or against society, and against themselves even, that they were lacking recognition and the love surrounding them. So a very different approach. Again, everybody is basically good, but we are all open to making mistakes. And the mistakes come when we have done something against the normal order that is set down for us. And we understand that through unity and affirmation that we can correct the nature of that person. So a very different template to the way our society works. Now, I'm not saying that this is perfect. I am not saying that it will work definitively. But if we don't start trialing different systems, then we are destined to keep repeating what we have repeated for millennia, where one group of people say, I'm right, whether they're the adults and then the children, or whether they're the leaders or the rulers and you're the minions, the vassals, the slaves, whoever you are. If we don't try different ways of structuring our society and working towards why people say start lying. Now, I can tell you that as a child, I was just the most amazing liar you could ever imagine. I could make up all sorts of things so that I got my own way. Now, instead of getting into trouble when I was found out, if my parents, say, had taken me into a group situation or even just with each other and said to me, maybe we're not giving you the attention that you require or that you need, or you're not feeling the love that you need so that you are doing what is for the good of all. And now that's a definitive one. What is the good of all? The good of all actually is when you are marching to the beat of your own drum. And I don't mean being disruptive unless there is major cause for disruption, but walking to the beat of your own drum, being determined to follow your own pathway is a very good thing. And yet parents so often try to stop their children doing what they need to do because they are afraid. Now, if we talk to our children at that level, instead of just going, no, you can't do that, don't question me why, we may have a different reaction. If we talk to our children, if we start to impart loving kindness and only loving kindness, if that is possible, then we may have children that grow with awakened minds, bodies, emotions, and of course, their soul self is as pure anyway when they come here. It's just that we tend to discount that there is anything that we can learn from our children. There is any other way than the way we've been brought up, say. So let's try Ubuntu. Next time somebody does something that we perceive is not for the best interests of everybody, let's take them into the circle and show them how valuable they are, how wonderful they have been. Let's point out all the good things they've done. Let's treat them with love and kindness and see where that takes us. Of course, they're still going to go their own journey, but unless we communicate at a deep, deep level, we are lost, everyone. We are lost. We must communicate with awakened minds, with understanding that everything can be moved into the light. Anybody that's in the dark that comes here will just fade away. They won't even be here anymore because they cannot survive in the light. And we must bring the light into this world. We must show the way. So I see your light, those of you that are watching me, and I appreciate and I am overwhelmed with the wonder and the joy and the energy exchange that I have with you and you have with me. Namaste, my friends.